Good morning. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi. We're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And boy, there's something that's really bugging me. That woman in Central Park with the bird watcher guy that she freaked out and he didn't have her dog on a leash and was strangling the dog. The rescue's given the dog back to her due to some legal considerations. And I don't know anybody in New York City, but it seems like the SPCA should be able to make sure that person can't have a dog because that's flat out abuse. But having been on the board of the SPCA here, I know that it's hard to take a dog from a person. They have to be, up to their feet in poo or freezing outside without a house or left out on a chain for hours. I mean, it's not that easy. And there's a lot of abuse that goes on. So I'm very upset about that. And I just pray that even though Facebook seems to be friends with PETA, I hope the PETA gods unleash their wrath on that person because she should not have a pet. Anyway, on to better things. So today I want to talk about something that we see in our dogs, but it's really what our dogs inspire in us, and that is kindness. And kindness is so important right now. We've talked around this issue with lots of other things, being nice to the people in the grocery store who are freaking out when you're doing okay. But our dogs really inspire kindness in us. And what is kindness? It's actions that are considered friendly, considerate of others, generous, reaching out from yourself to bring something better to a person or a dog or an animal that's outside of yourself. So kindness really, again, comes from confidence and generosity and compassion and lots of the other qualities that we see in dogs. And we all remember the phrase random acts of kindness, the bumper sticker that was everywhere. And, we were trying to do that. We need to go back to that time. I think that was 20 years ago, but we need to go back to practicing random acts of kindness. Every single day, every person should practice at least one random acts of kindness, doing something nice for somebody that you don't know or that you do know. If it's a compliment, a phone call, a quick message, somebody on Facebook, anything. Just reach out with kindness to people around you. And there are tons of research studies that show that when you do something kind for someone else, it actually makes you even feel better than the person that had the act of kindness done for them. And I still remember when I pulled into a parking space at my co-op one day when life was really hard and there was a little sign on the fence that said, "You are loved." And I was like, oh my gosh, I needed this today. And then when I came out, it was gone. It was like dropped from the fairies. So your random acts of kindness can be that way for other people. Just be kind to animals, and that might be filling your bird feeder as your act of kindness for the day. And then now there's a new movement. Instead of random acts of kindness, we have choose kindness. Because there are many times during the day when you have the opportunity to do one thing or another. And this group is advocating for choosing kindness. And again, the reward comes back to you. So reaching out to others and being kind to them is a way to really improve your own life, especially during these times when things are so hard and tense and nerve-wracking and, we're going back to work and in lots of states the COVID numbers are going up, and no matter how you feel about everything, that's not a great thing for anybody to be enduring. So, kindness. I hear almost every day about somebody who flipped out in the Walmart, the grocery store, the parking lot, a client on the phone, a friend of a friend. And, it's just a time when people are really stressed, and being kind can change someone's day, if not for the whole day, at least for a moment. And how do we get this from our dogs? Look how kind they are to us. This little guy, he comes here every morning and sits with me to do Facebook Live. And, I'm going for these really, really long walks. And look at this dog. He is a short little fellow. And he is keeping up with me and gamely coming along. And I have to, do enforced shade breaks for him because we tend to walk after lunch for a variety of reasons. And he really likes to walk then, too. And, But he tries and tries and tries to do what I need him to do, and all our dogs do that, and they are all so kind to us. You know, countless stories of therapy dogs doing beneficial acts for people in nursing homes, maybe their own person, service dogs, dogs in the military. Dogs do random acts of kindness all day, every day. You know, getting along with the cats in the house, even though they don't particularly like them. That's something that a lot of dogs do. Of course, there's plenty of dogs that love their cats. Baby Corgi wants to chase his cats, and that's a problem. But, you know, he also puts in some quality time being nice to the cats. So, you know, practicing kindness, choosing kindness is something that we see our dogs do. They're always kind to us, and we need to learn that from them. And of course, we look at our pets, and immediately that inspires kindness in us, which is why it's so disturbing to me that that person in Central Park got her dog back, because it was a Cocker Spaniel mix too, for heaven's sake. I mean, if those sweet faces and floppy ears and fluffy paws don't inspire kindness in you, what the heck does? What kind of person are you? And I don't care if you're hysterical, like all of us have been there. All of us have been in a moment when we're really highly stressed, and I bet no one watching this video would hurt an animal in that situation, or a child, or another human being. I mean, we all are basically kind, and we need to find that. We need to dig deep and bring that kindness out in us and apply it to the people around us. I mean, I can't get over this street. I've lived here for 6 years. I never knew 99% of my neighbors. And it's springtime and people are out, but they never used to wave. I never used to stop. And now I know practically by first name every single person on my road after 6 years, because people are choosing kindness. We're choosing to stop and say, you know what, your garden always is so pretty when I walk by. I love seeing it. And they say, great, you want some tulip bulbs? I'm like, thank you. And I've met many people who can come and wrangle things out of my yard. And I've also found out nobody on the street has any of those slithery things in their yard except me. They're all here. Oh. And I've had so much kindness from people helping me with them. I'm overwhelmed by people who are sympathetic and who like them and want to help me. So thank God, because I just can't seem to get a break. I mean, there's not a day that goes by when there's not one or two. Look at it back there. That's not tall grass. That's like, you know, old hemlock, very acidic, flat, yucky weeds. Short, but they seem to all like it here. So kindness, you know, is something that we can get from our dogs, because when I look at my dog, I want to be nice to him. I want to be nice to all corgis. Then I want to be nice to all foxes, all other dogs that look like corgis, and then all other dogs and the people that come with them. And I was talking to a friend yesterday who works with animals too, and she's new to the field and working in a different whole area than I do. But she said she's been overwhelmed by the number of people that she has come across who are not people who work with animals. And she said, you know, don't they understand that to reach animals, you have to be kind to the people with them and the people that work with them. And I was like, that is a big lesson for a lot of people with animals, because I'll never forget sitting there in a couple of classes where maybe 25, 30 people were in the room, and you know, you have that usual question, tell us who you are, why you're here. And people all in this room, it was a horse class, saying, I'm here because I really don't relate well to people, and horses get me and I get them, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I wasn't the instructor in those classes, but, you know, as an instructor, it's incumbent on you to point out that if you can't reach those people, you can't help those animals. Part of working with animals is working with people. And Linda Tellington can tell many compelling stories about her experience learning to be kind to people, learning to forgive them, and going beyond just the, well, you know what, I used to use that kind of halter too. And I'll tell you what I found. It doesn't do this, this, and this. So why don't you try this kind I like? It's gone way past that. It's gone on to educating the person and explaining how, you know, equipment A does this, this, and this, and why that's not great for the horse, and why that's not great for your relationship with the horse. It's education. And then showing them how the other one, the other piece of equipment, the other saddle, whatever it is, or way of handling them works better, and helping them learn how to do it so that they can see that it works better. Then you get gratitude. That is kindness, reaching out to people all the way, not just saying, oh, I used to do that too. I mean, that's one way to get started, but you know, working with T-Touch goes way beyond that. And I'm grateful because it changes who you are and how you are in the world when you learn about this work. And certainly we've, you know, for 35 years I've been doing this work, and hundreds and thousands of T-Touch practitioners around the world are bringing kindness everywhere they go. And some of them, like there's a woman, Sarah Fisher in England, who has a big platform to discuss these kinds of things because her husband was in television. And it's a different country than here. And she is able to promote Tellington T-Touch in ways that a lot of people can't. But again, it gets back to kindness. The kindness that we show our dogs, that they inspire in us, that's what we need to find every day. And, you know, I think we should go beyond, challenge yourself, not one random act of kindness, but, you know, 5 minutes of kindness every morning and afternoon. Or, you know, depending on your work environment, you know, doing 3 things of kindness at work every day, or to people that you see on the subway, or whoever you interact with, even if they're online. So, and maybe even especially if they're online. So find kindness. Our dogs show us kindness. We show them kindness, and kindness is what the world needs right now. Thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi. We are going to have to go to the grocery store Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, so one day we won't be here this week. We're going to run out of turkey for the dog. All right, thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day.